Everyone, as I've shared before, I'm Buddhist, and I came to this path because we do choose our religion based on our values. So for me, nonviolence is essential. It's number one. I used to be Christian, but over time I realized that the violence in those teachings, both historically and within the doctrine, was something I couldn't reconcile with my values. So if violence exists within a religion, even if it's a plan B, it does shape the behavior of its followers, and I did not want to be a part of that cycle. So I asked myself, amongst the nonviolent religions, which could truly contribute to positive change in the world, which one really helps people transform their lives and through that transform society? By that process of elimination and by aligning with my deepest values, I found Buddhism. So I'd like to share with you today about what my daily practice is in Buddhism. So let me share with you how I chant. So I chant to the Gohonzon. So what is the Gohonzon? It's a mirror. It's a piece of paper that depicts our Buddha nature, just like a mirror. It is our own Buddha nature. So when we chant, we're simply bringing out that Buddha nature within ourselves. It's already there. Buddhism is about trusting in our own power to overcome the problems in our lives. So just as, but so Josei Toda, he's one of the founders in this Nichiren Buddhism. He reminded us that since we often struggle to really believe in ourselves, we really need the Gohonzon, like Popeye's can of spinach. Do you remember Popeye? We need that can of spinach to lift us up. So Popeye ate the spinach and suddenly became strong. But the truth is, it wasn't the spinach. It was his belief in the spinach that activated the strength he already had. In the same way, the Gohonzon is not outside ourselves. It is a mirror that awakens the power we already carry within ourselves. So Nichiren Daishonin, in one of the writings of Buddhism, page 624, he wrote, he's from 7th century Japan. He's one of the teachers in this lineage. So he wrote, the Gohonzon is the essence of the Lotus Sutra, protecting us like a shadow day and night, just as warriors guide their ruler, as parents love their children, as fish rely on water, and as trees and grasses crave rain, and as birds depend on trees. You must trust in it with all your heart. End quote. This thing is like, I'm like sitting down on the ground. Anyway. And again, Nichiren warns us, never seek the Gohonzon outside yourself. The Gohonzon exists only within the mortal flesh of us ordinary people who embrace the Lotus Sutra and chant Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. End quote. That's from the writings of Nichiren Daishonin, page 832. So on a more practical note, how long should we chant? Josei Toda gave us a simple rhythm, half an hour in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. No more, no less. Morning is the time to set your intentions. Evening is the time to give gratitude for all the good things that came your way. And so here is my personal practice. I say the Gangyo, and then I sit with a piece of paper on my right. As I chant Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, inspiration flows, and I update my schedule for the day on my right. Ideas pop in my mind, and I write them down. On my left, I keep materials to skim for motivational quotes. On my right, I write out my plan, hour by hour for the entire day. On my left, I get inspiration. Could I do all of this without chanting? In theory. And I've really tried, many times actually. But without the chanting, Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, to the Gohonzon, the schedule is never really as goal-oriented. It's never really as powerful. It's never as effective. Chanting makes the plan come alive. It makes me feel the power of my soul aligned with my goal. And Toda said it best. To ride out the coming storm, you need a reliable compass, don't you think? And to accumulate fortune, you need a religion that works. That's what everyone looks and hopes for. There's nothing worse than phony religions that don't help people change their lives for the better. Faith must generate proof in our daily lives that we can change our destinies and become happy. Without that, it's meaningless. The experiences that we hear again and again in this practice bear the proof that this religion actually works. You might hear them and think, that's impossible. That's by chance. There must be another explanation. Isn't that what you're thinking? But when you've experienced it for yourself, you'll understand. There are no lies in this Buddhism. You can become happy, no matter what. I say this with absolute confidence. End quote. And finally, Toda reminds us with compassion about when we screw up. When we don't live up to our highest potential, we say or we do things that weren't our best, to say the least. He said, we all make a mess of things sometimes. That's human nature. But as long as we never stop chanting, it'll all work out. All you need to do is to keep chanting to the Gohonzon. End quote. That's how I chant. That's how I live it. This is helpful. Thank you.